tables have turned, or turn has tabled. Flash SG will have that first pick, first ban. RSG second pick, second ban. Ball's in RSG's favor though, because whatever Flash SG picks up, RSG might be able to counteract this one. The first two in the first game, we didn't see the Matilda being picked up, we didn't see the chip being picked up, and I think for both these two heroes, it was very, very high, 90 to 100% ban rate for the entirety of MPL SG.
We say turns have tabled so meaningly and so often. I actually kind of forgotten how to say the turns have the tables have turned.
Fair, fair. Me too. Sometimes.
This has become a tip. This has become my dictionary. Like the turns have the tables have turned has now become that meme for me. Like that's the wrong one now.
I feel you. I feel you. Actually, I feel kind of the same too.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh man. I hope that we don't make people
I think that's
say the wrong
that's
thing
like
as well.
dad abstract when you talk right now.
Yes.
You're coming up with dad jokes as well, but
hey, it's not that bad.
Hey man, I love your dad jokes, Dada.
But I don't. Okay, let's move on.
Let's move on into the draft. We go.
Yes.
Jose's gonna ban out the 1-1 and the Badang. I think for the better part for Flash SG doesn't want to deal with the Badang in the early game. That wall and the fist crack is so disastrous. For our Mooks though, very concentrated and respect Ben for Ken and Curtizi. So you don't want to deal with the Loyi, you don't want to deal with the Phobias. I think if memory serves me right, that might be the Juicin ban right there. So it opens up opportunities for the Chip, Kalea, Kimmy to be picked up, as well as the Matilda if they want to play that as well.
Yeah, honestly, just take that Juicin away. I think that Amox have got enough of the Juicin, even though I don't know where the trauma came from, but I think I can sympathize on how annoying these selected heroes can be. Now, back to the picking phase, because we more or less knows what Amox is going to pick out, or rather ban out. The Kalea is available. The Lucas is available as well, and we know very well that Hades plays a very mean Lucas. But the question is if whether they are going for that very specific direction because of the cross-map plays that they are so famous for.
RSG really needs to look out for macro control. Now, Juicin is open. Juicin, Chip, Matilda opened up. Farsa is also opened up, and usually is being put in the second pick slot, and Roy might be able to snap that up.
Maybe Juicin first pick, actually.
I don't think Juicin over Farsa. I think Farsa would be much better. High rotation speed as well, yeah. And also, I think this is the Singapore flavor, but Kalea, we always see that being first picked up right here, and JP also plays it too.
I don't honestly. I don't feel that Team Flash have that big of a priority over Kalea. I don't think that they mind giving RSG that Kalea. So maybe some other first picks in here. So they actually am gonna go for it.
And then you get the Farsa and maybe a Gatakacha.
Sounds
just
about
to disrupt.
right.
Yeah,
sounds
for
about right.
RSG.
I think it is becoming quite a standard.
It's very standard.
It's very standard. Yeah. So.
At least you have like
I think
options and flexibility to play with.
I think the flexibility comes in the second phase.
Yep.
Yeah. And also for R3 picks. I think R3 picks is usually the more flexible one. B1, B2, B3 are generally similar. R1, R2 is also relatively similar.
Ooh, they went for Moscow first. So it slipped my mind because I knew that was banned. First. Go for Juicin.
We got some differences now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how they want to deal with the cross map plays coming into the picture as well.
So that would mean that the Farsa is available for Team Flash again.
Yeah.
Curtizi was pretty happy with the Farsa previously.
I'm actually very happy with the Farsa going into Team Flash. At least you have some mano-a-mano, kind of a head-to-head, lane-to-lane matchup, evenly matched up against that Juicin.
So pick-off wise, they have the Kalea. Do they want to invest in someone that can really make full use of that? Perhaps go back to the Hayabusa, because so far we have always been looking at a B3 Hayabusa pick.
Yeah. Hey, but now I think Hanzo might be an option for a Flash SG because there's not a lot of non-committal assassins except for the Hanzo to take out the Moskov.
Yep. Okay.
But
so
now, Hayabusa was picked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
so
call.
Pretty normal. I think that is pretty in line to what we expected. So now this is where RSG will have the chance to go for a counter pick, right? Because all the blind picks are done, or rather the blind, actually most of the blind picks are done. Now this is the counter reactive part. Perhaps they can go for something a little bit different here.
Chip or Matilda, at least you have some form of...
Chip or Matilda, huh?
Yeah. It's still open for them, though. They pick one or the other. Because I think for them...
I still feel Gato would be the
Gato
case.
will be good to disrupt the Farsa.
Yeah, and not only that, it does enable Jusin's lane priority a lot better.
Yeah, there we go. Gato.
Is banning.
I can't really think about anyone that could realistically be able to fill that role well enough. But the Gato is the one for Jusin.
2 Ps in pod, huh?
I suppose so. Unless we want to find a way to put 3 Ps in there.
I think kind of they actually do have 3 Ps
in the
in pods. Yeah.
I mean, if we're looking at Edamame, it's actually more than 3 as well, right?
Why are we always like going off tangent with this script?
We can't cast with one another.
No.
Yeah,
No, this is the last time.
We should never ever do
I
this
promise. I promise. This is the last time.
again. I'm never scheduling us ever together.
But hey,
ever
we're
again.
starting a podcast
Oh no.
soon. We are actually. So we're building a neon sign and all that. So.
You want to pay for that?
Hey, okay, we're going into the second phase of bans. High loss getting banned out by Coach Amooks. They know that they don't want to deal with the high loss.
Yeah, even though I think that I feel that the high loss from the Sun RSG was kind of walking meat shield.
Yeah.
I don't think that he specifically do anything because they're going up against a Harif. Harif don't really play all that much of a auto attack. There's a lot more dash, attack, dash, attack, dash, attack.
Unless you don't want to disrupt his attack speed from high loss's passive, then it kind of makes sense with that. But Coach Ziz responds with a Ling ban, so you don't want a Ling versus Hayabusa kind of combo anymore. But the Fanny is still open. If RSG wants to pick that up, that might be possible for them as well. So now the Hilda being banned out, that gives information Coach Ziz that they want to put Bray in an assassin.
I think most of the time we'll likely want to see that. I don't know that Jay is definitely going to play that Gato Kacha. So right now we're just missing out on a single EXP laner and the jungler. Team Flash seems to respect the jungler pick a little bit more as such with that Ling out of the picture. Who else can match up with the Hayabusa right now?
Typically we see the Suyo as well, but you don't really have a lot of late game presence. But still, you have that early game destructive power.
Definitely not Hanzo this game.
Yeah,
definitely not Hanzo.
Actually, honestly, I think maybe Hanzo for RSG.
I feel that the Hanzo pick for RSG might be a little bit difficult because of how Hayabusa's shadow is. If you're able to trace the line of the shadow, it's actually relatively easy for the Hayabusa to get past the Pinnacle Ninja and go over to the real body and just kind of like stay around there, or just kind of like wander around there. And in the event that the Pinnacle, the real body decides to go to the Pinnacle Ninja instead, you have a shadow that's already attached to him.
To be honest though, I think either the Suyo or the Hanzo would work either ways. To be honest, I think the Hanzo gives easy access into Farsa, and that's the main target you want to take down. Because in the first game, I think their issue is sacrificing themselves to take down the Farsa. So now they have the Gato Gacha deal with that. Suyo will clean up shop. So that is a good early game pick and a lot more easier to execute, especially from Bray.
Okay, I'm down for that that Suyo. So now Team Flash, they gotta have to go for their final 2 picks. In some sense, a blind pick. We are lacking of an EXP laner as well as the gold laner. Harif is currently still available, but do they want to play Harif? No, they do not. So, okay, so with the Granger and the Terizla again! Okay.
Interesting.
I actually like to believe that Terizla is still Ken's comfort. I would still want to believe that.
Yeah, I remember one season where the Terizla was always picked up every single time. And I think the animation from the penalty zone is a lot faster as well. So if you want to get into that, create a zone to disrupt against major objectives, then yeah, Terizla is your go-to guy.
Do you remember the one season where Mo was the weatherman?
Uh-huh.
And talked about a very specific Terizla. I think it was Ken.
Was it Ken's Terizla?
I think it was Ken's
I don't remember, but look at that. You got Chip in the fray. We'll finally see Chip.
Last pick onto a Chip.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
That means it's going to be Gato in the EXP,
EXP.
and then Chip in the roam. They can deal with a lot of these big team fights as well. And we've seen how Chip plays around in late game auto ticks. If you send someone back, you can actually rotate towards the bottom side and get it back to our play. I mean, we've seen that in MPL ID before. And
Actually,
they love their Chip. They
Yeah,
love their
this
Chip.
is kind of like I think that this is my first time casting a Chip game in this season.
Yeah, honestly, same. Me too. I'm glad that it's between these two juggernauts.
I think that it's finally time for us to see what Chip has got for us, and if whether it is even gonna do anything good. Because Chip has been banned so much, so many times, but never really shown on stream just how he pilots.
So now that draft is set up and ready to go, there are quite a bit of adaptations that RSG has made. Do you think it's enough though? Bringing the Juice in, and the Moskov, and even the Chip coming to the question. I know that Amux loves his Chip,
Okay.
and the way that Chip likes to operate around now has a little bit more flexibility. You can use your passive portal anywhere on that map. You just need to appear on the same 4 spots that that come up.
Mhm.
So the
So you don't have to
jungle-
go into this very specific spot to go to a very specific
Yeah.
spot. You can
So-
go from anywhere
Yeah.
to that very specific spot.
That's why when you spawn up in the base, immediately
You
it
just
goes
teleport.
straight to the opponent's base. But ladies and gentlemen,
Stupid.
we are going back into the game. This is game number 2, Splash SG 1 game up on top of RSG. Will they be able to take another one, or will RSG thwart their
no.
plans? Jay taking a lot of damage, but able to prance out safe for now. He's got the Chip. He will heal up slowly but surely.
Yep. I mean, it's not a big deal for a Chip to go back home. I mean, he literally invents shortcuts.
And I mean, even if he goes back home, I don't think he really cares as much, because he can come back into the battlefield just like that, especially in the early game. So Flash SG knows that they don't need to be able to force a fight onto the Chip. For RSG though, needs to be able to try to ramp up the early game. Jay already level 2. Vanix knows that Jay is right there on hand. And now with the Suyo as well, long time. Oh, from the bottom side, Jay gets assassinated with the shadow kill. JPL next to fall, getting pulled back by the claw, and JPL will get cleaned up by Bray.
1-for-1 trade between the two roamers. Unfortunately, is a little bit more painful for Flash because they even lost their flicker onto the side of JPL, which could have meant for a little bit more. Jay might go down the second time, but luckily did not. Bray came in right in the nick of time.
Bray with the backup, really good timing right there. Roy left alone, got the Purify all locked up right there, stunned up, so a lot of damage getting taken down. Will fall, it's bottom side as well. Vanix will take it now.
No level 4, unfortunately, so there's no way that she can even beacon herself out of that. So, closer. Okay, closer is level 4. Roy is still level 3. They need to farm the lanes just a little bit longer. Unfortunately, Hades is already at level 5, but scratch that. Bray is on level 5 for some reason, level 3 kills already.
Tsunami Slam, Property Zone onto Bray, trying to stop his tracks though, but he's on his immortal form. He wants to go for more. SOD lands as JPL can't running for their lives. Able to pop a flicker out of the way. The claw will bring them back just for now, as JPL able to thwart their advances just a little bit more, as bottom side already pushed in. But RSG has so much dimensions to the momentum they want to bring into this game.
Oh damn, that was actually a pretty sick timing for coming from the side of Bray. He was actually being zoned out by Ken, and even had the penalty zone being set on him. He stayed around to go for that small little brawl with Ken. Not like it's gonna do anything to him, so he made that blade surge in a perfect time. It didn't touch the Lord, it didn't touch the turtle by the way, but it got him close enough to land a retribution.
Bray still has a perfect early game so far. 70 seconds until the next turtle spawns up, but he's 3-0-0 on this Suyo, and this is what you want to expect when you have such an early game burst potential from this kind of assassin. 2 levels ahead of Hades, so to speak. Now Flash SG on a little bit of a defensive as they're 1,000 gold behind RSGSG.
Let's not forget that Jay actually do have a lot of damage. Wow.
You see the shadow kill, getting
Yes.
pushed back by the spear. Good play by RSG.
Regardless, it is still very early to dictate the pace of this game because Flash is not exactly a team composition that's amazing in the early stages. So it's only natural for them to kind of lose in this early stage. But the one thing that they gotta have to do to ensure is to not allow Gray that snowball momentum, because as per normal for every single fighter jungles, you will always expect that fighter jungles, the moment that they have a lead, they can snowball out of control.
Speaking of snowball though, you have a lot of momentum that Jay can build up. Pardo still holding on strong. Haven't been able to find any team fight pickoffs just as of yet. This is holding it in. Ken trying to find an angle over to Bray. Turtle at a health, getting pulled back by the claw. Is Ken taking a little bit too much damage right now. JPL forces a ditch, good SOD onto the back line, finds Hades and Vanix hiding in the brushes. Here comes Closer, trying to disrupt their team fight. Fair airstrike will get laid down. Roy tries to pull everyone back out of picture. Closer goes down. Bray takes down that turtle. Ken in the heart of battle. It's Ken and Bray against the world. Curtizi able to pop that flicker out of the way. Got a tsunami slam down into the heart of Flash SG as they're taking one after another, way too deep into Flash SG's home. Get out of here, says Flash.
Okay, so we pretty much saw 3 men taken down from the side of RSG. Well, for Team Flash, I would like to believe that I can't actually remember that. I don't think that we saw much death coming from the side of Team Flash. In fact, what RSG at least have for themselves is that they got the turtle, they got the T1 in the top lane as to exchange for that 3 deaths on their side.
Yeah. Oh, shadow kill onto CS. Curtizi will snap pick that up. Jay pops out the portal. This Ken trying to buy some time away from the rest of his team. But I think for Flash, they just need some time to get their power spikes. You already got a Sky Piercer from Vanix, so that's a huge power spike moment coming in for Flash. He just needs to kill to stack up those executions. LC zone onto Bray. Might be able to escape this. Slam, tsunami slam into the turret. Bray falls. Goes down. 2 goes down as well for the side of Flash SG. It's RSGSG. They're still standing up strong.
This is, of course, a pretty good trade thus far, but he found Curtizi.
Curtizi getting pushed back by the spear. Unfortunate, but from the flank, Hades finds one more as Roy gets sent to the graveyard.
Really good initial start coming from Roy, but unfortunately they do not have enough of the damage to really bring down Curtizi. As such, we've got Hades. They found that opportunity to get a free kill off of Roy, and that is Roy with 3 deaths, which is actually very unfortunate. I thought that RSG might have been able to do things a lot better in terms of the team fights. Honestly, the objective is still good. As such, Bray is at level 10, which is neck and neck with Hades. They are still not out of the game just yet. If they are able to constantly just keep up with the turtle takes, that means the Lord takes will generally go towards the same direction.
Yeah, I have to 100% agree with you. And now I think RSG's early game spike has kind of ended. And Flash SG, that one turnaround very deep into the jungle actually turned the tides of battle. But you got a portal getting laid down. AOG down as well. Currency zone just to try to disrupt every of the team fights that the portal is able to bring in through. Bray will secure that turtle, but down goes Hades. And from the mid side, though, Bray's left all alone to their own devices, though, taking a lot of damage. Ken as well, getting chased up by 2 members. Bray falls by the hands of Vanix, getting a split fight on that cross map play. Ken almost getting pulled back by the claw and the lantern. It's Closer taking a lot of damage, soaking everything back in underneath the turret. Will keep himself safe for now. It's Flash SG, it's RSG trading flows back and forth once again.
Well, kills is not that important for CS. Right now, the main thing he wants to do is apply a little bit more pressure down to the bottom lane. As such, he completely forego that chasing the Tom and Jerry game together with Ken. So decided to just push the lane down to the bottom lane, get a little bit of farm bottom all the way to the middle, now to the top. They're funneling. They're hands down just funneling whatever that they could over to CS. So I think it's fair to say that CS have got a lot more farm as compared to Vanix, even though we're looking at quite a bit of a difference when it comes down to kills. 10 for Flash, 6 for RSG.
Yeah, I think not only that though, I think for Flash SG, they have to watch their 6. At every one point of time, you got Jay, who's able to pop out at any point of the portals. That gives a lot of attention towards one member. So there's a lot of like team fight pickup potential that RSG is able to bring onto the tables. They just have to find the right angle to do so.
7,000 gold for this for CS, and in the meantime 6,000 gold for Vanix, and that translates to a Hunter Strike and a Sky Piercer, and as well as a single sword for the Granger. While in the meantime, 3 items already done: Corrosion Scythe, the Golden Staff, as well as the DHS. Pretty good. I think that is more than enough for a Moscow Ham.
Conceal onto the portal. Down goes Vanix, just instantly vaporized by RSG, and all 5 members get that collapse in. Ken getting a Lantern, getting pulled back, getting slowed down. There's nowhere he can run, nowhere he can hide. Gonna Tsunami Slam into the wall, try to knock down Bray, lock him down with better airstrike as well. Try to zone everyone out of the way, but damage is not enough. It's RSG building that snowball into a snowman and into an avalanche as CS is starting to hurt. It's Hades against the world and an open lord for RSG to take.
Before the fight happened, CS had got 7,000 gold. As such, 7,000 gold. So post-fight, I'm pretty sure that even getting himself a mega kill, I think that this is more than enough for us to see that he's probably got, what, 8,000 gold already. So itemizations-wise, I think that this will pretty much allow him to go even further. And this is where Moskov will probably pop up even more.
Portal's so fun to see. You have a little bit of stun as well, so no retribution on the side of Flash SG. Our SG might be able to snap pick that up. The silver lining is Flash was able to take down Jay, but at the cost of the Lord. But this is still the first Lord. Flash SG has everything in them to make everything count. Bray getting thrown back by the Tsunami Slam, able to get himself out to safety, but CS!
Oh my
god! Against the world, not even Ken can save him!
Oh my god!
Make that 3 as CS goes ham!
This CS, this Moskov is now out of this world. We started that fight, or rather we started 2 fights ago with 7,000 gold with 3 items, and just within 1 minute, we've got 9.6 thousand gold. And even with that that wind of nature, he got a wand in the middle of that fight even.
Yeah, this actually creates so much opportunity for all of them. There's a mid-air kill onto that far side as well. So Kurtizi can't even get away from this Moskov. They need to be able to find a way to take him down fast. But how can you do that when Jay constantly has that portal in his arsenal at the ready? And in one point of time though, Flash SG cannot make any wrong moves, as RSG does have high skirmish potential. Very high committal though, but very high skirmish potential.
11 minutes and 30 seconds in, with the Lord now chasing up onto JPL, but he have a single charge that he can land right onto the Lord to diminish that 30% of the turret's HP. Team Flash now they're back against the wall.
Oh, 1v1 Bray, 1 out on the enemy team fight. Come at me, bro.
This is absolute cinema.
Absolute dominance from RSG in the second game. Right now, the biggest lead that they had in 2 games so far. 7,000 gold. The Crimson Beacon already laid down AOG, trying to stop the approach for Kurtizi and Vanix. Got an SOD. Will not be able to land though. The Tsunami Slam into the turret. Jay soaking up all these damage. They might be able to take that T1 and get out of the way. The discipline from RSGSG. They cleared out the mid T1, T3, and the top side T3. So now RSG, they're ramping up the aggression. 8,000 gold lead. What can Flash do? The silver lining is they have that high ground, but they can't use it because RSG is just hammering into their faces.
This is CS with fully item slotted. There's fully item slotted. Honestly, right now CS is leaking a bit of that Vanix energy.
Yeah.
Right. We've seen such dominating performances on Moskov so many times, but they are mostly piloted by Vanix. But now CS is really showing us what RSGSG is like. This is crazy. And not only that, Bray has also been piloting this Suyo out of this world. Currently, we've got the Hunter Strike, the War Axe, BOD, and the Queen's Wing even. Want to have a little bit more of the front line energy coming in from the Suyo. Not something that I expected, but definitely a good choice.
Now, Flash SG, very precarious position. They have full control of that Lord Pit. There's no way, no chance that Flash SG was able to go out of their base, because at any one point in time, Jay can just use the portal and appear in front of your face, and Hades struggling to even find a side lane pressure push into RSG to buy themselves time and space to be able to work anything at all. JPL really needs to find an angle onto CS, try to roll him in, but he has that Purify at the ready, and he's holding it for that Tsunami Slam at any point. So it's going to be a tall order right here. They try to make things work. They got the concealed play being laid down by Jay. Lord marching down the mid side. CS just free hitting onto that turret. Down goes down goes 3. AOG blocking everything off. He's got so much zone potential coming in on the top side though. Curtese able to use the Fair Airstrike, clear everything out of the way. It's RSG able to get that throne and bring us to the next game. It won't be a clean sweep this time, like I think most of us were expecting, as RSG actually coming into the picture really strong, especially CS with the Moskov play.
Man, what a game!
Yeah.
This is hands down going to be the season that will give us a, I guess, no longer a possibility of clean sweeps from Team Flash anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know about this, but I am not exactly too fond of the pick of Terizla for this game.
Yeah.
In the previous game, it kind of seems pretty nutty because his penalty zones, along with the Badang's clashes, it all feels that it gels together pretty well.
Yep.
And they have constantly been able to catch CS completely off guard. But this time, the rope is not on the, or rather the leash is no longer on the hands of, who is that again? Can as well as JPL, but CS literally have got a leash on all of them,
Yep.
and he's got free reign, completely uncontested, unpunished. He can reposition however he wants.
Yeah. I think to add fuel to the fire, you don't only have to deal with the Moskov, but you have to deal with
Right.
Chip.
Chip as well, yes.
To be honest, I think Chip was the main game changer. Yeah, they had a little bit of a turnaround in the early stages. I think the third turtle of the game, where they were a little bit too aggressive. But on the top side, when they singled out Vanix and popped that portal in, I think that was where CS's farm just exploded out of control.
Yep.
And it was just, yeah, it's so hard to deal with Moskov at that point. So ban out Chip. I think honestly, it is so hard to deal with, especially when you're on the losing end. Everywhere you walk, everywhere you go, Jay is going to be there. Jay is going to be right at your face, even though you see Chip at the turtle, the Lord, or any of the major objectives. At one snap of his finger, he will appear on the opposite side of the map. So this is going to be a hero that is very disasterly to deal with.
The thing about having a Chip in your lineup is that you naturally will feel that you don't have to clump up and you don't have to group up all that much during rotational
just
phases.
Farm and do your thing.
Yep.
And then when it's time to attack and when it's time to clash, then we'll just come together.
That's
If
right.
not, just do your own thing. That's why I love playing with Chips.
That's right.
It's constantly being banned out too.
So with that idea in mind, that means that this is supposed to be a team fight, or rather this is supposed to be a composition that Hayabusa loves.
Yep.
Because there's so many of them that is away. They're spread out. As long as you identify that, look, the chip is down at the bottom, and you know that there's no teleportation that's around your area.
Here's the thing. When you have the chip, you can sort of like have a slight vision play on when you open the portals. So when Jay actually uses the passive, like the shortcut, anywhere on that map, you can open up the portal a little bit to give yourself a little bit of information. You can see like, oh, if he's attacking the purple buff, yeah, then you have like the slices. You can hear the sounds of the buff being taken.
Right.
And of course, not to mention though, I think at the end of the day, it was Closer who was actually there to block off the escape routes from the rest of the team, so that it kind of created that zone for CS to really gun everyone down in the late game. And yeah, ban Chip.
Ban Chip.
Ban Chip.
I would have expected a little bit more out of Hayabusa. So many of them are generally going to be far away.
Yep.
They're going to be prime targets. As long as you get information from the opponents where exactly Chip is, where some of these other players are, okay, Hayabusa, go for it. This is a free kill. There's no one around except for maybe, creep waves. So do your magic. But I think that the problem about that they didn't exactly do too much of that. I think that maybe they did, but it's mostly on JPL. I haven't really seen a lot of JPL playing a Kalia. As such, I feel that this is a little bit out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
This is more of a catch hero, which is very synonymous to a Cho. But clear doesn't necessarily allow you to really tag onto the opponents and just kind of just casually look around. Hey, they're here. Hey, they're there, and then just casually get out. Titan's strike
Honestly,
allows you, yes, but
it's super high committal. If you jump in and you see all 4 or 5 enemies waiting for you on that brush,
uh-huh.
you're just basically dead.
Oh,
There's
they
no way you
went for
can have an
photo
escape
first.
too.
He actually
Ooh.
went for photo first.
Yeah, yeah, because the passive actually heals it back
Mm-hmm.
up. But I actually remember the point that I want to bring up. The
Uh-huh.
Turisla pick was actually good in a way that you were a little bit defensive drafting
Uh-huh.
if in case the opponent picks up a chip. Because remember, the way you deal with chip is AoE, crowd controls AoE
Right.
stunts on top of the portals. We
Mm-hmm.
saw that a couple of times from Ken. However, the rest of the team was just too far spread out for anything to come into fruition.
Right.
Because the portal only appears on the opponent's side, and it's your backside, right?
Yeah.
So you can only uh, enter the portal if you're very near an enemy hero. So note that Jay didn't utilize the portal in the laning phase because that's where things can go south. You don't want to initiate team fights where your enemies can
Can pick
actually
the all
come
portal.
back. Yeah, come into the battle as well. So I think that was a very good point that Jay actually not Jay brought up, but like that we actually noticed in this game where Jay. I was wondering why doesn't he go for the side lanes? Why doesn't he open a portal on the sides? Because the rest of the team has easy access to the portals, and then Flash, and if you're facing a strong team like Flash, you don't want to risk anything a chance. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have a singled out enemy and you know that your entire team is far away from you, away from all the enemies, you just pop in your portal, get everyone come in, and then just wipe out the competition.
Very good point, actually.
Yeah,
Very good point.
yeah.
Just kind of slipped out my mind sometimes that you can hijack the opponent's portal.
You can hijack the portals. Yeah, a lot of people forget that because Chip has been reworked so many times after he was released. And I remember the first time he was released, he was immediately banned out every MPL on every international
It's
stage.
always fun to see
It's
being
always
Chip
fun to play.
being banned to the point that you forget that, hey, Chip is a playable hero.
That's right.
That is
That's
mostly
right.
just a dead portrait.
I remember also like Jay was one of the first few players who played Chip in the MPL scene
Right?
back when Chip was first released in I think season 7.
Okay.
He was alongside FMM, and they also had the Loyi as well. So the Loyi chip combo alongside a high hitting damage dealer like either Moskov or even the Beatrix, you could play that in, would be one of the better ways to play with that chip. And it gives so much potential. So that's why 100% pick ban rate, 100% win rate so far. I don't remember seeing any chips
Leaked out
except
for this
today.
week.
Yeah.
Or rather, this entire season 9.
Yeah.
Never really seen that much. So,
Unless we go back to J statistics once again,
yeah.
which I'm kind of lazy to pull out.
I know, right? He
It's
put a lot of effort in that thing.
Yeah, but Jace is just so forgettable.
I would say that. Juicin. Juicin is forgettable. Speaking of Juicin, do we remember Juicin in this game?
Yeah. Oh, Roy actually picked up the shoes in, and to be honest though, I think he played a heck of a game using the um the lanterns to try to pull everyone back out of the into the mix of battle, and you can use that to chase and slow them down as well. And we always see that Ken was constantly pulled back. We always see JPL constantly pulled back by Chu Sin. That causes a lot of downfall and breakdown in their communications because it doesn't go according to plan. You want to be able to set up for your team, and if you're very counteractive into dashing away from Chu Sin's lanterns, then you're in a tough spot.
So what do I gotta have to say about this? Team Flash. They won game 1, sure. Great and all. But game number 2, this is a dominant performance for RSG. Let's not forget about the fact that previous game, it was not an easy game.
No.
Okay? Team Flash took 20 plus minutes, 20 odd minutes to end the game.
I think, if I remember correctly, it was around 18 minutes, maybe like second lore of the game, and then they start ending it. But this was honestly a very dominant performance from RSG,
Mhm.
especially in the late game when CS pops off. There was no way that Flash was able to find themselves any hope or reconciliation to deal with the Moskov.
This makes me believe that there's a chance.
Hmm.
There is actually a chance for RSG to move straight to the grand finals.
There is also a chance for Bray to finally get his revenge. He's waited 2 whole seasons for this. Right now in season 9, he's back after coming in from military and all, but he's back in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, that's true. Did you see his hair just now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is so NS boy, NS man, NS man.
Hey, he's become a man now.
Yeah.
He's not the child prodigy.
No,
He's
it's
a
the
man prodigy.
prodigy.
Jinx.
Oh man. Okay, so MVP wise. Oh, we don't even have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like hands down CS.
I
Yeah,
would say
we-
CS,
Yeah,
100%.
if it's
100%.
not CS, I blame production. If it's not CS, I blame production. I mean, that could be okay. No, I definitely say it's CS. Even though J is really important in that fight, I will still say that CS have got number one, the biggest amount of kills, one of the biggest amount of okay, kills plus assists add on together, they're great. And he's been pretty much in a lot of these team fights. Team fight participation is great. Amount of gold that he received is great. He died one of the least as well. Wait, Closer only died once.
Closer only died once.
Shame on him.
But to be honest, though, I feel like he is the forgotten one for a lot of reasons.
Okay.
Like, without the AOG, Flash SG was able to come back with the Feather Airstrike. He was always there to disrupt either the Feather Airstrike or stop the approach coming in from Vanix and Curtizi. The only time he died was when he sacrificed himself just to keep everyone up and alive. And I think that was pretty much in the super uber late stage of the game.
Mhm.
But to be honest, though, adapted to the situation, adapted to how they want to play things around RSG.
I really like this one thing. Every single one of RSG's players, except for the jungler and Gatokacha,
They have like center parting.
purify.
No,
They have-
purify.
they have what? Sorry?
A center parting.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Kinda.
Kinda. Yeah, kinda all of them kinda have certain parting.
I'm just joshing with you. Yeah, purify.
Yeah, they have purify. Yes.
No,
So-
except Gato.
Yeah,
Yeah,
except for Gatot.
revitalize.
Yeah,
Okay.
Gatot as well as the Suyo. So
Because you don't want to get caught by either Tsunami Slam or the penalty zone.
yeah, so I really like how they really respected that.
Yep.
I know that at sometimes Moskov can be seen pulling off a flicker.
Yep.
But there are one point in time where we see a lot of Inspire. Do we still have a Moskov Inspire right now?
No, because you already max out your attack speed when you build up the Holy Trinity. So
Right.
you don't need additional attack speed unless you are 1-1 who needs to be able to get out of the way, because DHS anyways, you have to hit your enemy to get the stacks going on strong. I would prefer Flicker
There's
and
actually
Purify.
max attack speed.
There is kind of... Oh, okay, so the Inspire actually breaks past the max attack speed limit, but only for maybe like 1-2 seconds. But honestly, once you have the DHS, the damage is done. Like, that is just crazy amounts of damage.
Mhm. Hey, 1 to 2 seconds can mean a lot.
In a life and death situation like in this game.
Yeah.
Fair.
I still like the Inspire. But regardless, total stats, we do have, of course, the Turtles and the Lords absolutely dominated by RSG. But aside from that, turret takedowns, Flash did manage to get a couple of turrets here and there. 2 turrets altogether. Not great, but not the worst.
I do have to say also that Hayabusas today not really performing well,
Yeah.
either from anyone.
What?
Of course, MVP goes over to closer as Gatakacha. I think the forgotten one deserves some love. 3, 1, and 4 is his KDA with 44% kill participation, but super valuable and very high impact in terms of these team fights. If he does not have that AOG, then the team fights would definitely go south.
Okay. That's actually a surprise.
Yeah.
I even said if it's
It's
not
either that
CS,
or production is just trolling us.
yeah. I even said if it's not CS, I blame Prod.
I also blame Prod.
I blame Prod.
But to be honest, though, everyone of RSG
everyone is an
played-
MVP.
Everyone is MVP.
Everyone's an MVP.
Everyone's an MVP.
Safe answers.
Very safe answer.
Yeah.